right, so we get started. Firstly, thanks Ashley and the team at Startwise. I'm happy that we've got a good partnership and the work that you and the team are doing within the business space, whereby you are helping entrepreneurs with the right tools and information so that they can be successful in their businesses. So yeah, firstly, everyone who's taken time to attend, and I know that time is one of the most valuable things to entrepreneurs. So I really appreciate that you are coming to this session. My promise to you is that you are going to learn the key concepts that can help your business so that you can really grow and ensure sustainability of your business. So really for today, the key things that we're going to be talking about, just the business overview. It's very, very important that we understand some of the concept and what do they mean when it comes to business. And then after that, what are the key steps required in order for you to create value? And lastly is now, how do you systematically put these components together in order for you to then make sure your business can succeed and work on these components on a daily basis. Ashley has already highlighted who I am, so I'm not going to be talking about it, but I'm a person who's I've got multiple skills and I've worked in multiple industries, and I'm very, very passionate about business because of the impact that it has to the industries that they operate in, but at the same time to the overall society, because businesses create an employment, businesses ensures that there's progress in the society. So that's why even today I'm putting all the knowledge and the skills that I have in order to share with other people so that those people can grow in their respective fields. So starting with the content that is important, I always notice that many people, they want to do the business. They've got various reasons for them to do that. But what is key, there are just the number of questions that as an entrepreneur, you must always ask. It does not matter what product or service or industry that you are operating in, you must always have these key questions. Number one, what problem are you solving as an entrepreneur? Who is your customer that you are solving the problem for? And how many other people who are solving a similar problem? These questions then, as an entrepreneur, help you to understand the landscape. Because if, for instance, I'm a fashion designer, how many people who are actually doing the same thing? And for me, if I want to enter the fashion industry, where am I going to play? How am I going to differentiate myself? And without these questions, we just go and do a business because my friend is doing it, because I heard that they are making money. So these questions helps you to have clarity as to what to focus on, what is important. Is there an opportunity in this, yes or no? So I encourage you as an entrepreneur, take these screenshots, take these questions and ask yourself these questions. And now, after you've asked yourself the questions, it is therefore important that as an entrepreneur, you understand the language of business. Just like if I'm an engineer, or I aspire to be an engineer, I need to understand what are the technical terms that are being used within that particular industry. I cannot say I want to be a doctor, but then I do not like anatomy, I don't like biology and the terms. So similar to business, it's very, very important to understand and ensure alignment. What is the customer? And hence the explanation that you see in front of your customer is anyone who's expecting a product or a service from you. And then what is the product or a service? A product or a service is a solution to a customer's problem. As the doctor, my solution is whereby I help the patient, diagnose them, and give them the right medicine that will help that customer to heal from whatever issue that the customer has. And therefore, that's the service that you provide as a doctor. So if you are a person who provides fashion, you are your product or a service that you offer, you are making people to feel good about themselves. If I'm wearing the clothes that you have designed and I feel good about that, and that means you as the business owner or an entrepreneur, you have then given me value because that's what I want to feel good. And therefore you provided me with that value through the designs that you have created. And lastly, which is one of the most important things, what is the business? So many people, I can tell you right now, you can ask as many friends as much as possible. Some of them will tell you different answers. So it's very important then as an entrepreneur to just understand what is the business in its basic component. A business is an organization that provides a product or a service to its customers in exchange of money. And this is just a good way that you can even put it into your own understanding. For instance, if you are in fashion or you're a doctor or you are an entrepreneur that is in construction, just using this. And then that again, going back, that the most important thing is about us providing a clarity, because it's very, very important that as an entrepreneur, you are clear. So look at the example at the bottom there. As an organization, if I'm a landlord, the product that I provide, it's accommodation, and then my customers are tenants. And then what do I get for the accommodation that I provide? I then get the rent from the customer. So these are just the basic building blocks that I want you as an entrepreneur to understand, because any other sphere has got technical terms, but you as a business person, you then need to understand these terms. So before we actually go to the crux of how you create value as an entrepreneur and what are the moving parts of that, it is always important to understand what is the landscape right now. What are some of the key challenges that are facing entrepreneurs at this point in time? So as an entrepreneur, you cannot operate in a vacuum. What does that mean? It means that you need to understand the environment that you are operating in and how does it impact your business on a daily basis. Because if you do not take that into consideration, you will then struggle. For instance, you say, I'm not getting customers, people are not buying my product and the services. But then it's because you as an entrepreneur, we have not looked at the landscape and understand what are the things that are impacting my business, both internally in terms of your own business, and then at the same time from the market that you're operating in. And lastly is the macroeconomic environment, because all these things, interest rates, if I'm an entrepreneur who's selling finance to, for instance, provide microloans, if the interest rates are high, there's going to be an impact. If there's high unemployment in a country, who are the people who are going to buy your product and the services? Because the higher the unemployment, it impacts how many people will have a capability to buy products and the services that are available in the market. So these things you need to take into consideration. And then they also help you to understand, okay, what should I do? What changes that I need to make in my business in order to withstand these challenges? Because on a daily basis, whether you like it or not, challenges are going to be there as an entrepreneur. And for you, it's all about navigating those challenges and make sure that you are able to win in the market that you are playing in. So some of the things that as an entrepreneur is also, you need to really introspect yourself. For instance, what are the things that sometimes the market can be favorable, sometimes the macroeconomic factors can be favorable, but still I am not growing as an entrepreneur. Some of the entrepreneurs, for instance, will then sometimes, maybe they are not able to control their costs. There is no governance in the way that you operate and manage your business. So we find that now is the issues with you as an entrepreneur and your business, not the other factors. But the main message here is that consider all these issues and therefore adapt your business accordingly so that you can set it up for growth. So coming into the crux of today, why you've even wanting to attend today's session. So one important thing that I will emphasize, as an entrepreneur, everyone has got a business model, whether you are aware or you are not aware, but every person has got the business model. And going back to my earlier statement in that, as an entrepreneur, whether it's very, very important for you to understand these concepts, because these just are the tools of enabling you to be better in the way that you do the things. So I'm sure you've heard when people talk about the business model, some of them explaining it in different ways. But then what is the business model? A business model is the way in which an organization creates and delivers value to its customers and is compensated for it. Meaning that if I sell bakery goods to customers, and then the value that I give to those customers is that some of them will be happy because they'll be full in terms of in their stomach. And therefore, they then, in order for them to get that, they buy my cakes or they buy my fat cooks, and then in exchange of the money. So each and every person has got the business model. And therefore, but you as an entrepreneur, it's just about now understanding what is it, what are the components of a business, and the build up of a business model. It then helps you to understand what are these key components. And sometimes I've got a good product, but then I'm still not getting customers. By just now zooming into your business and the elements of your business model, or you'll be able to understand, oh, maybe sometimes I don't have enough resources. Or sometimes maybe it's because people are not aware of what I'm offering. Or else, maybe the way that I've priced my product, it's not resonate with the people that I'm targeting. I'm overpricing or I am underpricing. So those are the things. So what you see in front of you here is the business model and its components. And you can see that it's labeled with numbers in a sequential way, meaning that starting from 1 up to 9. I can tell you now, this is the best thing that you can do, and just for you to learn around this. So starting on number 1, it's always a business have to start with the customer. Who is your customer? What is the problem that you are solving for them? What is their pain points? What are these customers wanting to achieve at the end of the day? And then you come to number 2, which is the value proposition. A value proposition is just really a technical term, which means that it's a solution that you are providing. What solution do you have for your customers on this side? And how well are you doing to make sure that your solution meet the needs of your customers? Number 3, now that you understood your customers, and you've got a solution for them, how do these customers now get to access what you offer? So, for instance, going back to the example of a fashion designer, do people, for instance, when they want to have your services, do you have an office, or do they touch base you online? They can buy your product or services online. If I'm a person who's got a bakery, do people come to my shop? Where is my shop located? So it's very, very important. Sometimes you've got a good product, but then maybe it's very difficult for people to actually access your product. So it's very, very important you understand this component. Number 4, how do people know about your product? How do you market to them? Marketing is something that is so important. You can have a great product as a person, but then if people do not know about what you offer and why should they come to you, most of the people then will not come and be able to buy your product. If people are not buying your product and the service, it means that no one, your business is not going to be able to grow. Number 5, your revenue streams. How do you make money out of the solution that you have as a person? This is one of the important elements in a business, because sometimes entrepreneurs will underprice and sometimes they'll overprice. You've got a good product, but then it's just the way that you have priced your product. And if you price your product wrong, you are going to have less customers buying from you. If you've got less customers buying from you, it means that your business is not going to grow, and you ultimately have to close down because there are no people coming in. So pricing is one of the most important components that you need to take into consideration. It's not enough to just say, you know what, my similar friend is doing this, I'm going to price the same. But you don't know your cost structure of your friend. So we'll go deep dive into this, but I'm just highlighting the importance of pricing and how it impacts the growth of your business. Number 6, in order for you to deliver your solution to your people that you are targeting, your customers, what resources do you need to have, right? So take an example. If I'm a person who owns a confectionery shop where I'm selling cakes, fat cooks, everything that has to do with that, I need to have, for instance, an oven. I need to make sure that I've got enough supply of all the ingredients that are required in order for me to be able to cook. You need to have electricity, you need to have the water. So those are this part, it supports this. What do you need to have in place in order for you to create your products for your customers so that they can be able to pay you? If you are providing gardening services, for instance, you need to have a lawnmower, you need to have a rake, you need to have all the components that are required in order to deliver the value to your customers. Number 7, what are the activities that needs to be done for this in order for you to create? So for instance, as a fashion designer, you need to make sure that you've sourced the right material. You need to make sure that you are making sure that you talk to your customers around what are their requirements. Sanele, what kind of suit do you need? When do you need it by? And then that helps you to make sure that you'll be able to cater to the needs of your customers. So that just talk to the things that you need to do on a daily basis in order to make sure that you can have your solution to your customers. Number 8, it's key partners. There is no business that can operate and be successful without the help of other businesses or other people. What does that mean? So, for instance, going to an example of the person who provides a fashion design services, you need to source the material from a service provider that does the bulk sourcing. You need to make sure that you've got the people. If my machine that I'm using and then gets broken down, I need to have a partner that will help me to do the maintenance of that machine. So this component is also very, very, very critical, because you cannot do it alone as a business. Every business, a bank, you need an IT supplier who will make sure that they can provide the IT services, an ATM, a network, and all that kind of stuff. So it emphasizes that as a business owner, you have to look at this thing holistically. Number 9, the last component. Now, this is called a cost structure. How much will it cost me in order to deliver the solution or the value to my customers? So for instance, to have resources, in order for me to be a fashion designer, to deliver value to my customers, how much material do I need to buy? That is the cost, right? And how much electricity do I need to have? That is the cost. How much rent do I need to have in terms of the rental space that I'm going to use? How big is the space? All of those things are costs. And most people are not paying enough attention in this part, yet it is so critical. This is a break or make. So we'll see towards the end of how do you make sure all these components work together. Because if you as a customer, as a business owner, you are not generating enough money, but yet, unfortunately, the cost there, you need to pay rent. Whether you make money or not, you need to still pay rent, right? If now this part is high compared to this, it means that you are losing money as an entrepreneur. And if that continues for a long time, your business is on a risk of closing down. So this, ladies and gentlemen, it's very, 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 very important. So let's look at an example that is practical, so that you can look at it and understand. Let's take for instance, a guy called Sbu. He's got skills. He's been always passionate about providing coffee. So what are his customers? Sbu's customers are people who are needing, for instance, you know what, I need some energy in the morning. I'm just going to grab the coffee. Or I'm a person who just want to have a catch up with a few of my friends, and that's really, or I'm just really a person who just want to have my alone time. So I want to have, just go to Sbu's Coffee. So this is then why it's important that you need to define your type of customers. And therefore, because that then helps you to understand, okay, if there's a person who just wants to quickly grab a coffee in the morning is different from a person who wants to chill. If maybe for you as a person, for instance, who decide, you know what, I'm only going to serve people who are just wanting to quickly grab. I don't need to have the seats there to have the furniture, meaning that already my costs as this book is going to go down. So this further emphasizes the importance of you as a person to define what type of customers, because it will determine what type of resources that you need to have. And then after that, how do people get the coffee? If, for instance, Sbu is only located at the shopping center, it means that Sbu only has limited customers, only those ones in the shopping center. However, if Sbu has got a mobile coffee, he can decide, okay, in the morning, I will be at this coffee place where we've got people who are enthusiasts, or I'll go to a particular shopping center and then I'll be there only for 3 hours, because I know at this time people are taking the break from their jobs, and then they'll come and actually grab. So what does this mean now for Sbu? He's able to sell more coffee. He's able to capture as many people as much as possible. All of that then contribute to the number of sales that Sbu can actually generate. And the more sales that it generates, the more you can be able to grow as a person. And then after, Sbu can also be creative and say, you know what, I know Ashley, for instance, is a person that loves coffee. Okay, how about now I create a package where Ashley can pay a subscription amount and then she can have 2 coffees a day. What does this do for Sbu's business? Now you're starting to have a predictable revenue for your business. So these are some of the things where we talk about business model innovation in order to create value. So it's all about all these moving parts of this business in order for you to grow as a person. What resources that Sbu will need? Coffee machine, the location, making sure that he's got all the tools like the POS machine, because if now Sanele does not have money on his pocket, but then Sbu does not have a machine that can take the electronic payments, it means that Sbu is losing out on the sales. So those are the things that as a business owner, look at all the components and what type of customers you have so that you can be able to deliver to your customers, because it will be an inconvenience. And am I going to come back? No. And that means it's a lost sale for now and also for the future. So again, this just really provide a high level overview of what a business model. You can take this and even plug it into your business. At the end, as I've mentioned, I've got a tool for you that will share as a resource that you can apply into your business. So what are the key principles that you as a person, you then need to take into consideration? I can never emphasize this enough, right? As a business owner, you are creating the value because you are solving the problem. The value is the actual solution as based on those definitions that we provided on top, right? And this is your solution. And then the revenue is the money that you are charging in order for the value that you give to your customers. The cost is the amount of money that you spend, or your time and also your energy, in order to provide this value to your customers to be compensated for this. And this, the way it is, it's very, very important. That means that you need to provide more value to your customers and capture a little of that value, but at the same time, your cost must be less than the amount that you get. So what is key here is that customers, for instance, as one of the principles, they only buy a product if the perceived value is higher than the price that I'm going to pay. Why a person would buy a car that is going to cost 500,000 is because that person, their perception in the mind is that, geez, it's a luxurious car, it's safety, it's comfortable, and it's going to also make me feel good about myself, and people are also going to respect me. So in my mind, I'm assigning a value of 800,000, but this car is costing me 500,000. That then the reason why customers will then buy a car for that. You then also, you as an entrepreneur, then go back to your business, right? Why customers are coming to buy from me? What value are they actually looking for? If customers are not buying from you, you then have questions that you need to have to ask yourself to say, okay, maybe it's because I'm not providing enough value. Hence, you then need to go and ask these customers, why do they buy from company A, but they don't buy from me as a person? And then you go back and revise your business model as a person. In fact, most of the businesses, the reason they die is because they don't get this formula right. You need to make sure that you provide high value, and then you're able to get that value through the revenue, but then the cost of delivering the value is less than the revenue. If the difference between the cost and also the revenue is high, the cost, and then for you, it means you've got a sustainable business. And then that's what you want to maintain. And you want that gap to continuously increase. And then you do that, you've got a business that is sustainable. So just a few minutes, we're about to close. And also then we can provide a platform whereby you as the attendee, you can ask as many questions as possible, because this kind of topic, it's a very interesting, and it's very important for each and every business owner to understand what's a business model. But at the same time, there's so much deeper components and the deep knowledge that you need to understand. So I'll provide the next 20 minutes just for us to engage, and you guys can ask as many questions as possible so that at least you can get value out of you attending this session. So what are the key focus areas of growth? Now that as an entrepreneur, you've got an overview of what is the business model, what are the components of the business model, and what movements that need to be done in order to make sure that I generate enough revenue so that I can cover my costs and then also be able to grow as an entrepreneur. So number one, data. As an entrepreneur, whether you like it or not, right? It's important that you understand data. Data means that it's an information about the environment that you are operating in, about the customers that you are serving, about the people that are also doing the same thing that you are doing. If I'm a salon owner, for instance, Ekasi, I need to, once a week, I just need to go around and see and go to other salon owners. For instance, those ones, maybe they've got customers, they are always full. Let me go and experience their service. What is it? Do they have a new hairstyles? Why people are they liking to go to that entrepreneur's space? How much are they actually charging? Even engage some of the people who are using the services of your competitor, because this will then help you to go back to your business and start making certain changes so that if you're on your side, you can attract more customers so that you can generate more sales and you can be able to grow. So data, you need to understand the data. Number two, after you've understood what are the needs of your customers, what are the competitors actually doing, and then you then say, okay, geez, what is it that I can do in my service or offering? What can I improve, right? Or maybe, for instance, I'm opening only from 9 up to 4, but now actually my customers are the people who are going to work by 8. What if now I can open at 7 and then close at 7? So those are the things. There are so many elements that you need to look at. And then you also have to look at my pricing. Maybe my pricing is too high and hence people are not buying my product. Yes, my product is solving a need in their lives. However, the price is just too much. Or it's solving the need and then the price is it's less. I'm getting lots of customers, but then my costs are so high. I'm generating 100 Rand, but then in order to deliver this value to my customers, it's 150. It means that I'm losing 50 Rand every time that I'm providing service to my customers. Is that sustainable? No, it is not sustainable. So that means then you need to go and look at your pricing, how you are pricing your services. Number 3, customer experience. It's one of the differentiators. For instance, myself, I'm a landlord, but then every other person is a landlord in where I operate. But then what differentiates myself is the customer service, right? I make sure that my caretaker is attending to tenants within a 24-hour space, is solving the issues that tenants have. That is what is called a customer experience. So even in your business, when a person comes to your business now, do you have a person who is going to attend to that person? Hi, say, how are you? What is it? How can we help you? Or do you just wait, you don't care for that person and stuff? If I bought your product and then something is broken and then I just want to come back to you, do you attend to me on time? So those are all the elements of a customer experience. Are you using a technology? in order to leverage in continuously delivering value and serve your customers better. Number 4, brand awareness. So many entrepreneurs have got good products, but then no one knows about what you offer, right? So it's important. So I've heard certain people say, no, I don't like social media, or I don't like, I'm not good in marketing. You don't need to be good in the marketing. You can employ a person, or you can ask your friends to talk about what you offer, but it goes back to that as an entrepreneur. If you want to win in the game, you need to learn the tools and the knowledge in order for you to win. Otherwise, you are not going to win. So it's important that you understand what marketing, or go to social media, or even employ the services of another person that can help you to expose your product to the target market that you have. Lastly, growth accelerators. Sometimes you find that now as an entrepreneur, I've done this business for a long time, but then I'm not growing. I need to make sure that now, who else that I can talk to? Sometimes I've got a technology product. Okay, let me partner up with the bank. Let me partner up with my competitor, so that we can be able to serve more people. Because sometimes for me, because of the capacity, I can only serve 100 people in a given time. For instance, maybe as a doctor, you can only serve 50 people maybe in a day. But then what if I say, you know what, let me have another doctor that can be able to serve the other customers that need my services. Let's have a medical center. And then it means that now, if we are only serving 5 people, and then we can able to serve 100 people a day, your partner is able to benefit, you are also able to benefit as a person. So as you can see, these components, they all go together. And it's important as an entrepreneur, all these elements that we talked about in the business model, you understand all the moving parts. Sometimes the problem is only just in marketing, and then go and fix the marketing issue. Sometimes the problem is only just in the pricing, go and fix the pricing. Sometimes maybe the type of people that you are serving, it's a wrong customer that you are serving. How about, you know what, I was serving students, but you know what, actually, I must actually do a fashion for business executives. Do you see now, you still same product, but then you've changed the type of the customer that will then able to generate a revenue. So those are key considerations that you need to look at all of them and come up with solutions for each, so that you can move your business forward. So just in summary, in a business, what problem are you solving? That talks to now, how many people will then be able, is there an opportunity? Yes or no? Because what's the use of solving a problem that only 10 people that need it? Because it means that your potential of growth is limited. And then number 2, you then need to understand, for instance, the feasibility. Am I able to do it? All right. And how well am I able to do it compared to what others are doing? And then number 3, a business, it's all about generating revenue. Are you generating enough revenue in order to cover your costs and grow? Because if you're not generating revenue and then you are not growing, that business somehow, it's not going to grow to the desirable rate. So that's just really the summary overview. And as you can see, all these components, they all in depth. And one of the things that I do as a person, I do consulting and help entrepreneurs and staff to make sure that we can look and diagnose their entire business and say, you know what, maybe the problem, okay, you know what, maybe you don't have enough resources. What can you do? Or you need to actually partner. You don't need to do this thing internally. So after over to Ashley to take on the questions so that I can be able to answer those questions. Thank you.